I recently posted a build video on how to AFK farm in Necrovault, and I had to cut some content and tips to fit my last video, so here you go, the longer uncut version I never uploaded of the low level guide. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So let's take a look at the low level build and see how this fight changes and what I used for that in case you maybe don't have any rare or epic gear. So we're sticking with the heavy cannon. This is an uncommon version and I've got it maxed out to 40, so you can see the damage is actually less than half of what I was previously getting. I'm still standing at the top of the room, but this is to be a problem later, and I'll talk about a possible solution that you might run into. You can see my health is like 4 times less, but this is still enough to do some damage here. So we have the heavy cannon at 40. I went ahead and put a Gauss. It doesn't really matter, but it's a secondary. You can have it just in case you need it. In that case, you might want to use something with longer range, but that's beside the point. Or you can actually get the SSG with a meat hook so you can stun lock the bosses. You're not going it for the damage, but you're doing it for the stun lock. Kept the Unmaker here. You can switch it to BFG if you want. I wanted to try to get the Unmaker buff, but unfortunately neither run had it, so I don't know what's up with that. That would have been a big help to have that 20% passive buff in this fight. I used the Ice Grenade as a common, all level 1, remember, just like the past, because I couldn't really find any Acid Grenade that I wanted. This is what I had that was common, so that's what I used. Come up to the Exhaustion Helmet. We only get 8% damage and 54 damage here when it's maxed out at common level 20. You can see I'm still picking Bounce here. Bounce is the way to go. It's an S tier. And you're going to see one thing more different that I do is heal at the Sentinel, because you actually need that a little more when you're at the lower level. Now we have the Razor here. We'll take a look. We stand here. This is where it got a little bit dicey. I don't really have much health or armor. Let me explain to you the Slayer suit I'm using here in a second. I have a full Demonic Gauntlet uncommon. Gives me damage 167 and 12%. But when we go to the Slayer suit, I switched out to my level 10 Mini Slayer. Now, if I have gear like in the 40s and the 20s, I'm going to have a higher level Mini Slayer, right? And honestly, you'd be better off using any of these other skins, especially the Classic, since it has that, protection shield there. And that's fine. I wanted to make this as tough as possible myself while still being reasonable, right? So that way, even if you don't have the best gear, you can still stand a shot to see what you need to do to make it work for you. We still have the Demonic Chestplate 20, which is 2% damage resist, 505 health. You don't have to, again, you don't have to use this exact same gear I'm using, but this is the optimal gear. If you have a UAC helmet, that's fine. But the problem is that needs your secondary to be able to do extra damage. So if you're going to use a UAC helmet, you need to take some kind of secondary you can fire off from a distance, like I said, the SSG, whatever. This is a problem right here. If you run into this arena, you'll see that I'm soaked in on him on the heavy cannon. I'm sometimes shooting an Ice Bomb over top to be able to try to get him out. But if I'm AFK, I'm not seeing this. So you might need to step in. If you have a stronger build, you could probably muscle your way through. Honestly, if you see this gun room right here, you should probably go to the bottom where the saws are. There are no types of guns to block your view right there. So slightly different. So this is a point where I say, hey, maybe I should spin it around a little bit, see what's possible when you move around, but I still want to stick to my guns. But we got the Demonic Boots as well here. Max health 505, melee dodge chance 2, projectile dodge chance 2. Again, remember, I'm trying to use the earliest gear that I can while still giving myself a chance. As you see here, I'm near death here. So if I would have done this differently, I wouldn't have stood up there by this gun because of the chance it could get blocked. I would stand down at the bottom. Of course, I take a revive here. Let's see what happens next. Okay, so say we do have to do movement. I'm trying to stick to the AFK here. I know I'm extremely underleveled for this strategy because Necrovault is no joke. So we're going to see what we have to do for that. So I'm going in this next room. I see there's no cannons or nothing to block my view. So the thing you want to do if you still have to move, you don't go left or right. Easy. You don't have to run around the arena, try to dodge like crazy. You only have a horizontal plane that you're working with, okay? When you're using this, you only have left and right that you worry about. You don't have to go up and down and around. That simplifies things. You're out of the range of the poison guns there. You only have to worry about moving left and right. If you take a hit, that's okay. If you move a little bit, you're still able to go get the glory kills if you need to. You still have the Unmaker you can use to get yourself out of a sticky situation because it gives you invulnerability while you're firing it. So you do have options, even if you can't go full-on AFK option here. So when we go to this, our upgrades, again, we want to have max health for sure. We have enough damage to get us by. A little more damage will be good, but definitely max health. Now for the zombie, this is where I start to get a little bit uncomfortable with it too. So you'll see me maybe move around a little bit. So let's see, what would you do if you were in this situation? Get some shots off at the first, and I'm like, no, you know what? We at least have to try. So how tough is the zombie with this gear? We've already got him down to half health. If you stand really close to him, you will end up swiping just like that and missing. So that's something to keep in mind as well. People have asked me about a tutorial for this guy. Well, get up close, let him swipe. If he shoots the toxic, just start one corner of the room and just go strafe little bit by little bit, left, left. Just go. He shoots one toxic, go left, shoots a toxic, go left, and just run around him like just like that. So we see here we have nothing good. We have only glory kills that we can run off of, unfortunately. So I'm thinking, all right, well, let's just get something, because like I said, you can have some options for your glory kills. I got lead poisoning on the roll there. That is fine. And the big problem is going to be the Prowler, probably, right? Because we go to stage 11 and we think, okay, there's nothing here. Those blocks on the left and right side, don't worry about those. Those are fine. You'll shoot through them and it's like they're not even there. They're not like the problem child, which is the cannons that you can't burst through. So there's a solution to that, even for the lower level guide. All right, so you see it's getting a little dicey. I have a lot of left and right room to move. So this is a fine zone. There's nothing wrong with this. And this actual arena itself, it's fine. You know, it's going to be whiplash and all that. Prowlers are some of the worst things you want to worry about in this strategy here. So already on wave 4, mostly zombies. No worry here for the lower strat. Just pivot to the side. So even if you can't fully AFK it, you do have your options for easy use, right? And Necrovol is the best level for this. You can do it on any level you'd like, but there's only 20 stages. They go wave combat, wave after wave. They come to you, makes it a lot easier on yourself. So when we get here, Twin Shot, this is another reason I wanted to show this one too, because Twin Shot is super nice. When I did testing, on my test it did 540 damage for a single shot and 308 for 2 doubles, which is an increase of 12% damage. So you do have a bit of a bonus there. Now keeping in mind too, yes, I can't change my masteries for this build test. I have to run with what I have. I have like 52 of them right now. So you keeping in mind, I tried to duck my gear down to common to make this work. So you won't have the same masteries if you have entry gear, but that's fine. Like I said, I tried to nerf myself as much as possible to test the limits. And the beautiful thing about this build is you can see I'm still moving left and right in that horizontal plane. Everyone can try this and report testing back to the community. You know, go in the official Doom Discord. I'm in the official Doom Discord. I pop in there all the time. Or my own Discord if you want to talk about strategy. We can gladly do that as well to try to figure out how to make this thing work. So we go over here, but don't really have any good options, so I do attack speed boost just to try to at least make that work. Okay, so we have the Prowler fight here. This is the scary part, right? But if you look, you know, we have 1400 power. The heavy cannon works. I'm seeing that I'm not doing much damage to him. I'm getting a little scared. He doesn't do much. He does about 300 to me, which is fine. Not too bad. But at this point, I want to move. I keep close to him. I don't let up the pressure, and he's already half health. I'll try to go for the ones that are the copies, because that once you kill the copies, you won't have to worry about as much of the projectiles going around the room, right? So we have those two together. Just use the Unmaker for invulnerability purposes. I wouldn't try to AFK the Prowler if I'm, you know, minimum level, because this is essentially, like I said, essentially what this is. This is minimum level versus max to see. So the Prowler's done. The Mancubus is also a bit of an issue. I'll tell you how to take care of him in just a minute. So we go through here, we get our mod bot. It's all sucks. So I do Demon Repellent. Anything defensive I can in that case. So we're going to look next at what the Will gives me. It's health, which is awesome. Like I said, you're going to be filling up with the Sentinel getting health, a lot more health if you have discs, that's fine. This is meant to be AFK as most as you can. Hopefully you have rares or epics at this point, but you know, if you don't, that's fine, it still works. So we go here. Now, why did I choose a heavy cannon still yet? Remember, the heavy cannon is completely accurate, super long range. The chain gun does have its shield, that's nice, but it's just good to have that consistent shot that can hit clear across the arena, do a lot of damage. You don't need those secondaries. You don't need those ultimates that much. We have the Unmaker to try to get its Unmaker made to last ability. It's fine if we don't have it. Like I said, you can use a BFG if you want. But altogether, you still have a little bit of movement you can use. Now we're on wave 5, on stage 16. It's moving along really well. This is fine. We move a little bit for the Prowlers to do about 400-ish damage apiece. Okay, coming into this room, I probably should have stuck to that back side there. I'm coming up here. There are guns. They could be a potential block for something that shoots you. So if you want to kind of go to the other side, that's fine. Like I said, I'm going left and right here. Lost Souls are a bit of a trouble here. They run around, they fly around, they really try to mess things up. And beside the guns, if something spawns in that top left-hand or right-hand corner, I'm kind of screwed. That's okay. Everything is looking good so far. We're already at wave 3. Got some whiplash. Zombies. Like I said, the biggest thing are the Prowlers that are a problem here. I should have gone for that glory kill for that whiplash just to get a little bit more health, but that is okay. We'll run with that. Let's see what we got next here. Yeah, Prowlers dodge just a little bit of horizontal movement. That is fine. Looking good already on wave 5. Wave 5 making easy work of it. Got the imps and shooting a little bit of ice. Fortunately, you have to dodge on that. Let's see. Critical hit boost. Looking good. Going to the Sentinel. Going to heal for the Mancubus boss fight. Now, the Mancubus is one that does require a bit of damage and health to him. If you have the shield with the chain gun, you can camp in the corner and you're fine, like the whole entire map until he shoots the fireballs. If he just does flamethrower like that, it's okay. Got a little bit of dodge boost there. That's very good. Still getting a lot of damage in there a little bit over time. So when I'm at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, let's try the corner. The corner, it works here. Should be going to the other corner. It's a little better because he will actually miss you if you're in the corner far away from him. You're going to see the action here in just a second to pick up on the strat for this guy to do him semi-AFK. So he's going to run away to the distance. I'm like, all right, how can we change this strat up? He's going to shoot the fireballs. Not a good place to be when you only have 3,000 health. So let's go up to the top corner here. Run around. We'll just play it like that. He just shoots his flamethrower. It's fine. Semi-AFK. He's going to run up to the top. You're going to see the flamethrowers in action right here. Watch what he does when I've got him locked in there. Doesn't even touch me. Doesn't even touch me. Look at that. Perfectly nailed to the max. Check out my next build guide here. You're going to love the high damage and everything about it. My name is Austin. Subscribe for more, and thank you for watching. Come to the Discord if you want to learn more strats, by the way.